So this video is going to be how not to kill yourself if you're just getting back, or if you just start to try to get back into shape, or if you're just a sedentary person like I am, like I've been a lot of the time, most of my life, like most people have been. It's going to be about things you're going to need to be aware of. Just a few things, not everything, but some things that you're going to need to be aware of, so you don't tear your body into pieces, piece by piece, while you think you're going back to the gym and you know you've been in shape before maybe, and you think, yeah, I can just kick ass and keep going, I feel great, I'm gonna just go all out, go my max and get ripped and super strong. And no, it's not gonna happen. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get too high and mighty, caught up with yourself, and you're gonna F up something like I've done. I've already done several times. I've had, well, it was not because of that, but I've already hurt myself, minor injuries, not too bad, but little setbacks, little painful episodes, that might pose problems, or actually I got lucky. They haven't been, for the most part, they haven't been too bad, and they just kind of pointed out to me things that I need to fix, need to work on, so that I really don't hurt myself. Though the last time was pretty bad. So particularly for gamers, since a lot of you guys watching this might be the gamers that have been watching my videos up until now. Most people are sedentary. Sedentary means they just sit around in the same, maybe not sitting, but maybe standing in the same position for a large chunk of the day. Whether you're a student, you're driving around a lot, you're on the computer a lot, whatever. It tightens some muscles, it relaxes other muscles, it can mess up your posture, it gives you bad neuromuscular control. One thing you have to know is about your strength isn't just the size of your muscles, it's also your brain's ability to recruit your muscle fibers and get them all to work together. That's especially particularly strength exercises. And strength exercises, when you're doing heavy weights, are the typical exercises where you risk hurting yourself. Besides running with bad muscle imbalances and bad posture and bad form. So what I did yesterday, I'll share with you guys. Yesterday I was doing weighted dips, and I was cranking them out. Because a couple weeks ago I was doing regular dips without weighted, but it was more of an endurance exercise. But yesterday I was doing weighted dips, which was more strength exercise, and I was doing, I had an 80-pound dumbbell hanging onto with my legs. And a couple weeks ago I was doing in my endurance exercise, I was doing sets of about 6, 7, 8. And then yesterday with the weighted dumbbell, I was still doing sets of 6, 7, 8. So I was going, yeah, this is awesome. Look at me, I'm getting stronger. I can just crank these out like nothing. But what happened was, all of a sudden, I hear and I feel this rip, this like dozens of little bombs going off in my armpit, in my forward armpit. My pec major, my pec minor especially. It's just a little muscle going from your arm to your pectoralis. I don't know, I'm not sure what connects. My anterior deltoid, which means just the front, anterior is the front, your deltoid shoulder muscle. It all got effed up, and after that, it just ripped. I heard it rip and felt it. It was like linen cloth ripping. If any of you actually know what linen cloth is, or feels like, or rips like, sounds like when it rips, it was like that. And later that day, it didn't hurt. It hurt when it's happening, but afterwards it didn't hurt unless I used that muscle, unless I flexed it. So I thought I had ripped it, which I think I did, because afterwards part of my pec major was scrunched over. The top part of it, like the top part of it was kind of scrunched over, and there was a big bump in the middle where I think the muscle was actually pulled over and tightened over. But it's not like that now. I think because I slept for like 11 hours last night, and I think it pulled it. I just went to bed. I just ate a bunch because I was starving after that, and then I went to bed, and I think last night it started to pull itself over. Now it's really swollen here, but mostly it's my minor pec now is all this really super tight. my anterior deltoid's feeling better. It was all swollen. I was icing it with with a bunch of ice cream bars. Just got a bunch of ice cream bars out of the freezer and iced it down my shirt, and it was ice cream dripping down my shirt on the inside. But it was worth it, I think. I need to ice it some more, baby, before I go to bed. It's nighttime. But the reason why that and some other injuries, the reason why I got that one was because I was frustrated. A little bit about me, I hadn't actually been, when I was doing all my computer stuff and sitting around, I hadn't actually had a girl for a while. And 5 out of the last 6 attempts in the last couple years, I think, that I'm trying to get the girl, they were all taken. And the last one who wasn't taken, I screwed up. I accidentally hurt her feelings really bad. And I haven't seen her since. And so I was thinking about that when I was going to the gym. And instead of being depressed, I decided to get angry and aggressive. And so, which allowed me to just crank out those dips, I think, which was more than what my body could handle. Because I was thinking, I noticed that. I was like, man, these are not difficult at all when I was going. And all of a sudden, my tissues couldn't handle it. And so we're sedentary people, we're gonna have a lot of weak points in our body. Because when you have our bodies are kinetic chains. They're chains of tissue. So you're only going to be as strong as your weakest point. And I'm not sure exactly what happened. I think it might not have been a muscle tear because it seems to be healing really quickly. But I know something teared. I think it was just some connective tissue that teared. So when you go strong like that, you have to be really careful of it because you're going to have points in your body where have been atrophied from sitting around a lot. And be careful when you get adrenaline. You need to stay focused and clear-headed with what you're doing. Now, one other important thing actually that I think is going to affect a lot of people, everyone. When I was doing squats and really in general, I noticed that once the left side of my body is stronger than the right side of my body. The right side of my body is a little bit more coordinated in some cases, I think. But the left side is definitely stronger, and it really manifests itself mostly in my legs and in my core. My right leg is a lot weaker, so when I'm doing like squats and deadlifts, I'm imbalanced. And what that can do is it can, if you shift over to your weaker side, or if you're just pushing really hard and your weak side's not used to it, but your strong side's like, yeah, I can handle this, then you're gonna risk hurting something. Like I did when I was doing deadlifts. I was doing heavy deadlifts, like 365 pounds or something, sets of 3. And I had in the gym I'm at, they don't let you drop weights. They say no deadlifts everywhere. There's signs everywhere that say no deadlifts because they don't let you, because it's built on top of this other store, and they have a noise regulation against them, which is stupid. So I have to pad it and I have to like drop the bar lightly. So I think it was also because my position was wrong. I had my feet too close together. So when I let the bar back down, my feet were too close together, and my right sacroiliac joint, which is the joint in between your spine, your sacrum, which is almost to the bottom of your spine, where it meets your pelvis, your core bone, your hip bone. Yeah, it's the part where your hip bone is at. No, actually no, it's not your hip bone. Hip bone's on your femur. Think above your femur, the pelvis with the iliac crest. So yeah, the sacroiliac joint where the spine meets the iliac crest and pinches in between. It slipped. The joint slipped when I was lowering it, and that's one of the most common sources of back pain, I think, or maybe not. For me, it has been. It's a really common source of back pain. And if you have back pain like in the center, but it's on the left or the right side, that's usually where it is. And I hurt that because I think partly because my form was bad, but also because my body was imbalanced. So, 2 things I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to try to convince you guys. One thing is you got to try to balance out your body. If you're going to try to get back into lifting or doing whatever, any kind of physical activity, exercises, intense physical activity, balance your body. And it's not just your strength, not just your muscle size, but it's your brain's, your neuromuscular control, coordination of it. So you have to think about it, like similar to my mouth. don't know if that's getting better. Maybe, hopefully. Similar to my mouth control, balancing the symmetry of your body, so that when you have weight that needs to be evenly distributed, or that's set to be evenly distributed, then your body can actually handle the distribution evenly. So, and we all probably have it. One thing I do is my left leg's stronger, so I just lean on whenever I'm standing, I just lean on my right leg a bit more, and you get that control. Do one-legged squats, do one-legged lunges, and just try to get that balance. Also, my core is kind of uneven, but I think that might be getting a little better. It's just something you have to focus on. And the other thing was focus on what you're doing when you're in the gym. My mind was wandering maybe a little bit when I was doing dips, but I don't know if that actually mattered much. It probably did matter some, but mostly because I was aggressive, too aggressive for my body to handle, and lost control and ripped it. But it's feeling better. Hopefully to get better. I also had a few other things. A lot of times when you pull a muscle, it's because you get distracted. Like I pulled my hamstring, slightly pulled my hamstring a little bit. I stopped it quick because walking in my way. Someone was like, I was doing sprints across the field, and someone was coming away, and I had to stop and go, well, and then I pulled my hamstring because I wasn't sure what to do. And there's another thing. Oh yeah, my trapeze. Another more complicated thing. But so that's two things. Got to be aware, and there's also tons of other things, just like stretching. But two things in particular that I want to share today with this video. Be aware of what you're doing. Keep your focus, especially if you're doing heavy coordinated movements. Like I do, CrossFit is a lot of functional, full body movements that you have to really be coordinated and have good form and think about it. It's not just like bench press or machine crap. Think about what you're doing and balance your body out, and it could help you in reducing your amount of risk, the amount of injuries you get. So thanks for watching, and make another video whenever I think it's something to talk about. Thanks.